Welcome to 5 Minute Bolos, where we take 5 minutes to talk about one thing that you should be looking for on Saturday mornings. Today we're going to talk about Star Trek. It's one of my favorite subjects of all time, so stay tuned. Welcome back. First things first, Alexa, start a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, starting now.
About 2 years ago, we received a call from the antique mall where we have two booths. Someone had called them wanting to know, did they want to buy a bunch of Star Trek toys? Well, they didn't, but they knew we probably would, so they called us and they passed us the telephone number, and we made arrangements to go down to a nearby city to see these toys. I drove up, and my heart skipped a beat. Spread out on his porch it looked like 100 Star Trek toys, and they appeared to be all new in package. So I walked up, made chit-chat with the guy, and found out he's trying to sell them. He needs to make a little money. He had bills to pay, whatever. I mean, you empathize with people, but when they're trying to sell something you want, it doesn't matter why they try to sell it. You just need to buy it. So I started scanning, and a lot of ships were $20 and $30. Figures were $5 and $10, but there was a lot of them. Then I picked up Voyager, the Starship Voyager from the TV show Star Trek Voyager, obviously. I scanned it. At that time, it was worth $400 on Amazon. Holy cow! That's a lot of money for a Star Trek toy. So at this point, looking around at all the different toys I had not scanned, I knew I had to have this lot. So we started negotiating. Like I always say, the person who makes the first negotiation bid usually loses. So I asked him what he wanted for him. And of course he threw it back, what are you offering? Well, when that happens, I always go low. I offered $100. He just shook his head and said, no, that's too low. And I knew it was, when I said it. So after some back and forth, he wanted 800. I came back with 200, and he came down with 7. And I knew I was going to get a good deal one way or the other. So we settled on $500. Yes, I know that's a lot of money, $500 for Star Trek toys. And I don't know very many people who can just go grab $500 out of their bank to buy toys. Fortunately, at that time, I could. It was, it's a worthwhile investment. I knew I'd make that money back and then some. I just didn't know how much I was going to make back. So, obviously, I listed them all on Amazon and eBay. When all was said and done, on that $500 investment, I'd made close to $2,000. Approximately $1,960. And that was just on Amazon. I haven't added together what I sold on eBay. Some things you can't sell on Amazon that you can sell on eBay. But it was a lot of money. $2,000 plus is a lot of money. So I knew to look for Star Trek toys. On Friday night, I saw a show on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. And they had a show on Star Trek. And they traced the history of Star Trek toys, from the very beginning of the show until now. And there's lots of toys put out. And I was thinking, I sure would like to find some Star Trek toys tomorrow. Well, talking about them next Saturday. Well, I didn't find any Star Trek toys, but I did find some Star Trek models. And he had a whopping price tag of $2 each on each model. 4 of the models had been opened, but he assured me that the boxes had been opened, but the parts were still in the bags. And me checking on them, opening them up, he was right. They had not been put together. All were still in bags. Except for one, which was still new in shrink wrap. So I picked that up, and I scanned it right away. If I can get it turned right side up. It's the Starship Enterprise. It is the Generations edition from, of course, the movie Generations. And right now, on Amazon, it's selling for $85, give or take a few pennies. That's a lot of money on a $2 investment. And that's not even counting the other 4 that I will get remarkably less because they've been opened, but still a good deal. So if you're out and about on Saturdays, always pick up the Star Trek toys and look them up, scan them, however you decide if they're worth anything. Because trust me, they're usually sold cheap enough that you will make some money on them. So, Star Trek toys, always a bolo. If you like this video about Star Trek, I'm working on another one that's entitled Everything I Know About Thrifting I Learned from Star Trek. So look for that soon. That sound means our time's up. Alexa, stop. Live long and prosper. We'll talk again.